All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to the third game of this exciting series here. This is round number 1 of the Kiev Major group stages between Team Random, the former Wings, and IG Vitality. The Chinese scene is just already getting started here. It is craziness. I'm Android, being joined by Brax. Brax, how's it going, man?
It's going pretty well. We've had some great games so far. I'm excited for this game three.
Yeah,
We have the first pick, Vengeful Spirit again from Team Random.
yeah, a lot of love for Vengeful Spirit here. I mean, it's warranted as Team Random just farmed that thing into oblivion. Blink played it wonderfully, and I'm almost positive that's what we're gonna see again. Nothing too shaky. No position 5 Venges here.
Yep, that Venge last game was extremely scary, pretty much top of the net worth until Medusa took over. But, it's a new game. We'll see what they can do with the Vengeful Spirit this time.
If you got
And
like one wish of a quirky hero you want to see in this draft, what would it be?
a Gyrocopter.
Okay, all right, I can respect that.
But we probably won't happen. No
Probably
love
not.
for the copter.
Not quite in meta here, but first picks coming out. IGV definitely taking their time here, dipping well into reserve time, trying to figure out what.
I was gonna say, this is where they kind of debate picking the Magnus, right? They're like, we just played Magnus. They had a pretty good strategy to counter our Magnus. Do we really want to play this again? And the answer is yes. They don't want to play against the hero, that's for sure.
Yep, so they're
Let's
gonna
see
go
what
with
they
the
can.
same opening.
Let's see what they can do differently to kind of avoid what happened last time. Exact same opening, actually, the Ricky as well. A lot
Uh,
of faith in these heroes.
it's definitely the same bands from IGV. I'm not quite sure if those are the same bands from Random, but yeah, it is looking a little familiar here. We'll see what Random go for
It's
next.
actually the exact same everything so far.
Okay.
Crystal Maiden.
Well, this time they're gonna go for the CM second, so
Okay, so we're
shaking
not
things
watching a
up
replay.
little bit. Why? That's one of his favorite heroes in this patch so far, so probably going to be played by him. IGV looking to get that Magnus Ricky strat off the ground just a little bit more. They comboed it with the PA. I mean, is that the right choice? Are they going to go in for the same cores, or did Team Random really correctly read that and counter it?
Um, I don't think it's more core based. I don't think they'll go for PA as well. They'll probably go for a more stable hero. They're probably hoping to get their hands on something like Juggernaut, Lifestealer, Troll. One of those three would be pretty ideal for them, in my opinion. Juggernaut banned that again, and interesting to see that they picked Crystal Maiden there. I don't know. I thought that they might prioritize the LC again. The heal is definitely good at removing the RP, and of course, if LC can ever get the duel off on Magnus, Magnus also wants to empower his melee core, which LC loves to duel with Blade Mail.
Yeah.
So yeah, they leave the Lifestealer in the pool. The Lifestealer Ricky combo, pretty strong, but it's definitely, in my opinion, one of those heroes that kinda fell out of favor. IG and IGV both played Lifestealer to a very, very high level at a DAC, but people have been playing a lot of new heroes to kind of counter the Lifestealer.
Are you ready for your empowered gyrocopter, Brax? It's coming.
Oh, please do it. Lose in style.
But yeah, in terms of what Shadow's been playing recently, a lot of Troll, a lot of Slark, a lot of Jug, Lifestealer, but like you mentioned, there are some reasons not to go with the Lifestealer. They're going to go for the Warlock here, so getting a little more ulti dependent. We now got RP and the Golems that are going to be pretty, cooldown reliant. These guys aren't just going to want to charge in and fight anytime at all. They're going to have to be really ready for it and working as a group.
Yep, we've got some big teamfight ultimates from IG Vitality. Venge Swap is not the most useful thing in the world if your target is already hit by Fatal Bonds and gets rocked anyways. So kind of, it doesn't exactly counter the counter, but it makes it less effective.
Yep. On the flip side, though, if Team Random go in and they force out IGV to just bust their ults, then Team Random have a pretty solid window where they can run in and not be scared of too much.
Yeah, definitely. They also have good Roshan potential again with the Vengeful Spirit, so if they do happen to take a team fight, like in the mid or top lane, ultimates are blown, they could just run right at Rosh, and I don't think anything IG Vitality, they can't stop it at all. Their team fights are buttons at this point.
We'll see. I mean, they can shake that up. What other core do you want to see? If you don't want a PA, is there something else you'd rather see? Because Lifestealer, again, he has his drawbacks. Team Random are very used to playing against a Lifestealer. They've probably got strategies up the wazoo to deal with that. Is there anyone else coming to mind?
I think Troll is like the next big one in line.
Yeah.
He farms extremely fast with Empower, hard to deal with, extremely high physical damage. He kind of plays similar to that Juggernaut where he just stands his ground and fights, hits the tower, baits the enemy team to come in to try to kill him, and then he can land the RP or rock or anything like that. But I definitely felt like they would have played that last game before thinking of playing PA because it wasn't an exceptionally good PA game or anything like that. Typically, well, in the past, people play PA kind of to like pressure the mid lane, where PA solo mid against like an Invoker or a right-click dependent hero like OD, where the evasion has a whole bunch of value, and then they just play around the mid lane.
Yay!
All right,
That's my
Terrorblade.
favorite. I'm so excited.
Oh, you'll
So,
see a lot of Terrorblade this tournament for sure.
oh boy. A lot of push coming out then. So they've got Vengeful Spirit. She can take care of herself. Terrorblade just going to be slapping away at towers. I mean, is that going to be mid Terrorblade? Or are they doing some sort of aggressive off lane? What's going on there?
Support Venge.
Okay. That's.
Okay, and we have the Phantom Assassin yet again. Lots of faith in these heroes.
Wow.
Omni Knight. All right.
Okay. Definitely shaking it up here from Team Random. IGV, I mean, they're going in for relatively the same strat. Warlock going to be kind of a different puzzle piece, but I really like it. I think Team Random are reading the situation right.
10 seconds
Yep,
remaining.
heavy physical damage countered by the Guardian Angel, of course, and they
5
have Repel,
seconds
hard to deal with.
remaining.
Um, I think IGV
Reserve
may have pooped
time.
himself a little bit. They're like, uh-oh, all of our damage is right-click damage. We're in some trouble here.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
also can't zone this Omni Knight at all.
yeah, he can be one of those really annoying laners that just gets up and smacks you, gets a point in degen aura, and suddenly you can't farm, and the cores are getting everything they need. So IGV,
Yep.
they've got one more pick to deal with this. What rounds out their draft perfectly? I mean, what can really get IGV online here?
All right, there's the OD ban. Well, they do have the last overall pick, so they might feel like they already have enough to deal with the Terrorblade because of all the cleave damage they have coming out with Empower, so they might just pick something that's going to be a good carry matchup versus whatever they pick. I
10
imagine PA
seconds
is going to go mid if the
remaining.
matchup's alright, but in that case, they probably wouldn't have banned OD, so I'm not sure where they want to lane PA. If PA is in the safe lane, then their mid will just be like a counter pick to Team Random, and it, well, yeah, I don't know. It just depends where this PA goes, because if PA is in the safe lane again, which I feel like is a mistake unless the matchup mid is pretty horrible,
10 seconds
then
remaining.
yeah, this pick depends on what Team Random picks.
5
So how are Team
seconds
Random laning? Because with the
remaining.
Omni Knight and CM, it seems like they got pretty solid duo there. Then you got Venge just kind of
Reserve
doing
time.
her own thing. Is this going to be more of a core Omni?
Yeah, it'll definitely be an off lane Omni Knight.
Okay.
He'll run around with CM Aura, Power Man Shield, and pretty much be untouchable.
That's going to be really difficult to deal with. I mean, Random going in for their last
10
pick here.
seconds
Still looking for their
remaining.
mid laner. They've been. Oh, okay, no, they're going for an
All right, it's the
Earthshaker.
Earthshaker. Okay, so
So,
change of plans here. We have no idea what they are doing.
alright, I'm here. Omni mid. Terrorblade's going to take up safe. It's going to be an aggressive tri lane of Vengeful Spirit, CM, and Earthshaker. If that's actually what
All
happens,
right,
I want
called
$1
it.
million.
10 seconds
Not for me, that's for
remaining.
sure.
Not the
5
best.
seconds
Alright, so Team
remaining.
Random definitely trying something interesting. IGV sticking right with the meta, going in for that Lina that was bloody popular a couple of weeks ago when they shifted around her talents, and now you have to choose between the respawn and the damage. Fell off a little bit, but still really popular in all scenes.
Yep, Lena, very strong hero. Kind of surprised, made it to last pick. Um, Another good hero potentially for IGV would have been the Tinker against Terrorblade. A very, very hard counter when he has the Aghanim Scepter. Laser blinds all the illusions pretty much. But they go for the Lina. It's also great once she gets that Aghanim, she can go through the Repel and GA with her Laguna. So nice for finishing off TB. But yeah, we got some wonky stuff from Team Random. If it's what you called, then I think IG will have a very hard time dealing with it.
10 seconds
Yeah, I mean, what's
remaining.
IGV's plan in lane? Are they just going to keep it simple, or do they have a draft that's kind of fluid enough where they can rotate lanes around if it gets weird, if Team Random are doing some crazy stuff.
Well, the Ricky can kind of float in and out of wherever he wants. PA Warlock, they're pretty safe. They've got a lot of sustain, a lot of heals. Magnus farms and does his own thing. They can play a lot off the Lina with Ricky. Lina very strong in lane already. Ricky can kind of help empower that. He can always, slow them with the Orb of Venom to try to set up the Light Strike array, and that pretty much kills every hero in the game. Unless you're laning against an Omni Knight with Repel, I guess, but I can't imagine Omni Knight would have a very good time in the mid lane.
So we
I don't
are
know.
loading
It looks
in.
like disaster for whoever goes mid lane.
And Terrorblade mid? Is that what's happening here? No.
Maybe.
I don't even know
We don't know.
how
They
Blink
don't
plays
even
as
know.
Terrorblade. He might play it mid. It's a little wacky. Let's see. As we load in, again, we are in game number 3 of the first series of the Kiev Major group stages. It's 1-1 so far. This is going to determine some seeding with Swiss style. It's all about those rankings. You got to get those wins to be in order to move up, get the desirable brackets. So got some crazy stuff. It looks like Blink is going to be on that Venge, so it is going to be the core Venge. Shadow playing the Terrorblade. Got items to go mid lane. Our support duo of Y on the Crystal Maiden, Ice Ice on the Roaming Shaker. And up top, we've got Faith Beyond taking the long lane as an Omni Knight.
Yep, alright, so they pretty much picked heroes good for the game, and they're adapting the lane situation to kind of help. They see Paparazzi here, and they're smoked up. Oh, nice Fissure block.
Yep, they go in, they get this done, and it's looking like, unfortunately, this guy's between a rock and a hard place, and it will be first blood for Ice Ice. Getting that support started off right. He's got boots money pretty soon. So very good aggressive rotation from Random. Already getting their weird draft off. This is going to be interesting. I want to see how it scales into the late game.
Yep, they're establishing their dominance, claiming their bounty rune. So I imagine their aggro lane will break down once Terrorblade wants to jungle, because he can't sit mid against Lina forever. Lina eventually pushes him out. Alright, 3-1 for bounty runes in favor of Team Random there. Ricky tries to snipe one, but he's unsuccessful.
Gets a couple of clicks off onto Shadow, who's taking that TB mid. I mean, how does TB mid fare in general, let alone against Alina, one of the most aggressive mids we've got now?
Typically he plays kind of like Alchemist, where he can do okay for the first couple levels, and then he'll want to jungle pretty quickly. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely something that they have to play around. Like he's using meta right now, just so he can lane. That level 1 engagement from Team Random actually enabled them to switch lanes. Oh, nice block off. He's gonna get skewered in the tower, uh-oh.
Yep, in July, able to get him on through, and now Blink gonna be eating up some tower shots. Dogfights is there, gets the Orb of Venom on him, but no. Okay, Blink is gonna be just fine.
Yep, and that leaves Paparazzi up top to solo up against Faith Beyond's Omni Knight. Definitely Omni Knight favorite. And Faith Beyond, great players. Well, both of these guys are great players. These are top caliber teams here, of course. And this is interesting. They're choosing to fight the bottom lane instead of just leaving Magnus to kind of do his own thing here. They really want him to get some farm this game.
Dogfight's gonna be getting in aggressive. Wanted to cancel off that salve from the Vengeful Spirit, but it may end up costing him his life. In July, gonna go for the skewer onto Ice Ice. Ice Ice still with cooldown on Fissure, just trying to punch down Dogfights, but they aren't able to get in close enough. Super now coming forward. He's just gonna shadow word up the Ricky, so try on try. So far hasn't yielded any blood since the horn.
Yep, very, very close to it. Makes it out with his life, and now Team Random are gonna shrine up. Thank you, Ice Frog. These things are great for the offlane.
You know, I was real resistant against shrines at first, but I don't remember what it's like to play without them. Same with the HUD.
Yeah,
When the new HUD
interesting,
came out, I was like, oh, this looks terrible, but now it looks so much cleaner than the old one. Anyway, going in. Dogfight just trying to go get some good harass onto Y. Looks like our no item Crystal Maiden will have to leave that Centaur for dead.
Yep, Dogfight's camping back and forth. Nothing he can really do. This match up top is not good for Phantom Assassin, by the way. Soloing the Omni Knight, very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, she's getting some alright levels. Her last hits aren't plummeting, but it's just not an environment where she can thrive. She can't really go for kills. And speaking of kills, down in this bottom lane, in July, please relax. Goes for the kill on the Crystal Maiden, finds it, eats up a couple of tier 2 tower shots, but is still alive. Ice has that fissure up in 1 second, but Dogfight is going to keep him distracted. There's going to be no more vision on Ricky, so he's just going to be walking to freedom.
Yep, CM actually didn't have gold to TP to the shrine to try to fight. Picked up the boots, 30 gold left over, couldn't make it back.
Unfortunate. Now let's talk a little more about this top lane. I mean, what does PA have to do to really be successful here? Because she's getting okay farm. She can just keep daggering here for creeps. I mean, does she want to stay in this lane or does she want to move as quick as possible?
I think they'll need to rotate at some point. PA can do okay, but she already used her shrine. Pretty much Omni Knight runs at him every creep wave, and then PA has to back off. She can only farm when daggers up. It's not a good lane.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Faith Beyond having the time of his life, just 2 points in degen aura. He can just run at people and they're scared of him, and yeah, just going in. Misses the nuke there onto Paparazzi, but again, still, this PA can't even touch Faith Beyond. Down bottom, in July, we'll get clipped by the fissure here. Magnus should be able to run to freedom, but Blink on this bench still getting some alright farm to herself. Her support's able to keep this guy's own back.
Yep, this is the exchange they make. You know, they put PA in a little bit of an unfavorable spot to try to accelerate Magnus's game. It's not always the worst thing in the world to do, especially when your Magnus isn't going to have the best 1v1 matchup.
So back towards our mid lane. We've got Terrorblade mid doing, you know, surprisingly alright. Picks up 2 points Metamorphosis, 2 points Conjure Image, no reflection yet.
Yep, he's getting to the point where he wants to leave the lane pretty much.
Oh. Setting up bottom here. Ice just goes in, punches, and there's a lot of aggression down here.
Yep, and it's still just a duel lane against IGV's tri lane, and they still don't feel like they can do anything. You know, they have no real ways of being aggressive with their combination of heroes down there. All they can really do is farm. CM is just happily jungling away.
Yep, already found her level 3 just now, so gonna be even more effective at frostbiting and getting what she needs. What is CM going for here? Like, what's her ideal? Alright, I'm done in the jungle. I have... Is it, you know, is she going for Blink? Is she going for early Force? Does she just want to get levels as fast as possible?
It's just levels. It's definitely not any specific item that's going to be game-changing for Crystal Maiden. She just wants to help supply her team with that sweet, sweet mana.
Oh boy. Up top, Paparazzi just taking it from Faith Beyond. This guy feels no fear. I mean, he's a little short on mana right now, but that's nothing he can't fix. Mid lane, do have that Crystal Maiden coming in, gets the Frostbite onto Cicada, makes it pretty deep, and is going to hit the Light Strike array. Shadow gets low. They will be able to find a return kill, but not before Shadow takes out Cicada. So some experience not going that Lena's way. And Y just going to turn things back around, freezes up dogfights. Meanwhile, down bottom, everyone's still farming up, so... Nice little gank on the mid lane.
I do not believe Terrorblade will come back to the mid lane now. It's looking like it's at jungle time.
Yeah, he's got the Talon. He's just going to be sitting back, playing safe. Full Aquila coming out, just a couple of 100 gold.
Yep, there he goes. And now looks like Shaker will probably take up the mid lane. And then Venge might have to move away from the bottom lane. You know, Paparazzi's not doing too bad for considering how obnoxious this lane is. He's still getting some decent farm, but
top.
He just gets ran at. Oh no.
Caster's curse, Brax.
Rotation in from the Crystal Maiden. I do that on purpose when I see her coming in. That's what I tell myself, at least.
Bottom lane.
Down
Looks like they're
bottom
going
lane.
for another gang, trying to get some revenge for their lost core. Dogfights getting ready. His levels are okay. Going to be picking up his level 4 soon, but yeah, they just don't have the catch to go into Blink. Lacking a little bit of stun.
Not a whole lot of kill power there. No stuns. Just nothing.
So, Lena
they can
in our
actually...
mid.
Alright, Lena mid lane against the Shaker. Shaker's soaking up some nice experience now that TB's jungling. PA actually rotated down to the bottom lane, but pretty obvious once she's died, she's got nowhere else to go. Does not want to go back top lane. They switch places now. Magnus is up top.
Going to be a little more straightforward as far as laning things go. Well, our Terrorblade is going to be getting a ton of farm, now level 7 on him. He's doing pretty alright in terms of last hit. Switching over to net worth, our big leader is going to be the Omni Knight. I mean, he is just got everything he needs to out of the laning phase. Top lane, you got a jump coming in. Oh, Magnus. He goes down, just flies a little too close to the sun, doesn't realize there's 3 heroes ready to take his life.
Yep, it's a tough life here.
And now Shadow
Wings
moving forward. He's got that Metamorphosis ready to go, 2 points in that, so this tower should push pretty quickly top if that's what they're going for. Now, mid lane, it looks like they'd like to set up onto Faith Beyond. They've got dogfights in the area, but this Omni Knight is pretty tricky to get down. Their one saving grace is that it hasn't picked up Guardian Angel yet. Top lane, going forward. Radiant, they're going to go ahead and fortify here, but that just means they lose Super, and potentially their tower as well, as now the Magnus just has to back. There will be a TP in from the Lina. It's going to be pretty aggressive if they can go for it. If they can find this, it's pretty nice, but Magnus is still level 5. No RP for him. He's trapped on the wrong side of the fissure. Just going to be charging around, unsure if he wants to re-engage or disengage, and both him and the Lina are just far too low for this. In July, what you doing there, bro?
Just going for the sniper shockwave. Oh,
Cicada.
10 HP left on Shadow there, so close.
Yeah. Able to use the Laguna Blade to find a kill onto the Earthshaker, but oh man, Dragon Slave so close. Cicada now just a little bit overcommitting here. Light Strike Array does clip onto the Crystal Maiden. She doesn't have enough mana for that Frostbite, and Cicada's going to turn this around, gives her own life for it. Does take out the CM. I don't really know if that's worth it though. A little bit of sibling rivalry going on.
Yep, definitely not worth it. Got a little over aggressive there, but realized she was in too deep, had to go for it at that point. And yeah, they really wanted to defend that tower. Unfortunately, Terribly lives with 10 HP thanks to the raindrops. Very tough. But at least IG almost have their level 6 on Warlock, and that'll definitely make these tower defenses and team fights a lot easier. But they still can't do anything. You know, Magnus wants, like, he prefers these slow games. You know, he needs time to get to his Blink Dagger. PA still trying to just scrape together whatever farm she can get.
Oh, she's gonna get stunned here. Wow, just taken down to a quarter health by one big purification nuke. That has gotta really suck for Paparazzi. Just sitting back, trying to play so safe. Going for the Vanguard here just because she knows she can't survive without it. Mid lane, we do have some good push coming out. Cicada using those fiery soul stacks. The tower's getting low, but they have to back off while it's in deny range. Light Strike Array comes in. They get the Venge stunned up, but lacking kill power without the rest of their heroes there. Dogfights, just keeping eyes on Shadow, soaking some of that XP, while Venge is able to deny mid.
Yeah, there's just so much pressure on PA all the time. He just can't farm anything at all. Gets heal bombed, fissured literally every time he comes up to a creep wave for now.
Yeah, even though the lineup is really crazy on Team Random, it feels like a very similar game plan as last game, where it's just cripple the PA, make sure PA is doing no damage, and then rotate as a unit, rotate really tightly.
Yep, IGV do have a smoke coming in bottom lane to try to...
Okay, they're gonna dump out that. They got that Earthshaker, I tell you what.
That's the hate.
Yeah. As Faith Beyond walks away pretty much unscathed, Terrorblade going to be coming in, and Terrorblade can really push this. Still holding on to that Metamorphosis as the emergency sunders, so yeah, golems are down. This real little claptrap going to be just going back. They got to play safe. They don't want to feed the golem gold on this. Very interesting.
That's just how desperate they are to get anything.
Link going to be going long range swap. They isolate Super. They get the Frostbite going in. There will be a Light Strike Array as they are able to trade for the Vengeful Spirit. Super somehow still alive throughout that entire fight. Now Dagger goes in, slows down Shadow. He's able to go ahead, pop out another illusion, and IG Vitality, you can feel they're really torn on whether they jump on this. Paparazzi goes forward, is able to get back to safety. Earthshaker trapping her behind the fissure. So a little bit sloppy here, but IGV still making a hold, making sure that Team Random don't push in and don't get that tier 1 just yet.
Yep, nice hold from them. Team Random, they forced it just a little too hard. Pretty difficult to take that fight once the swamp under tower comes out. You know, they're like, rocks down. It's not really going to do anything now. We can take this fight, but, you know, they were unable to. But as I said, they're smoking back up in July. Looking like he's in some trouble. Goodbye.
Yeah, there's no way he gets out of that, so just a quick re-engage, and now Super coming in like he can do something about this, but he's got 3 points in Shadow Word.
Oh no, Sam's there to cancel the TP too. He's in no man's land right now.
Yeah, he's Yeah, he's kind of trapped,
Space
I guess you
created.
could say. That's not great, but mid lane again. We got Cicada farming up nicely. There is going to be Blink spraying out a stun on the dogfights, but yeah, that's about it. Just getting some pressure. Cicada now isolated. They are going to bring in Faith Beyond. Lightstrike Array not going to clip anyone. Slight nuke there, but Cicada still able to get something done. Unfortunately, isolated back down. Magnus comes in, saves the day. A Lightstrike Array going in. Will clip onto Faith Beyond. They finally get down that pesky Omni Knight, and a heal comes in on Cicada just in time. Down bottom of
Alright,
TP.
saving the day.
Yeah, they're trying to go in. Shadow temporarily forced back. Paparazzi doing his best to clear out these illusions, but they are tanky and they are hitting hard. And there's going to be a freeze as Crystal Maiden just securing a quick exit for Shadow. He's taking jungle farm as he goes. Got dogfights pinged out as he comes forward. Ice is going to be caught here. May not be able to retreat. Is just going to Echo Slam. Man, he does not mess around. Another dagger. Potentially another blink could secure this kill. Okay, Sunder comes in. Terrorblade keeping his buddies up as they're going to go Shrine anyway. What a play.
That's a team player right there. Saving his lowly support there. They shrine up and they're going right back. Warlock actually does not have mana for the Chaotic Offering right now.
This is a huge time to strike. You've got Paparazzi feeling like he's on top of the world, forcing everyone back. There will be a fissure out. They grab Super, and Super just hits the deck. So kill score is starting to rack up in favor of Team Random. Once again, Paparazzi just chilling in the trees. TP on cooldown for another 15 seconds. Better hope they don't get found here. Dogfights is in vision, in terms of sentry vision, but gobbling his way through the trees, making sure he's not caught.
No.
Now blink back,
He's on the run.
Paparazzi gets a little ambulance help there from the Ricky, but now two heroes caught down, just ready to be sandwiched here by all the Dire team. They're just blinking away for safety. They get dust on both of these heroes, but can they actually go forward and find the catch? A little smoke to break things up as Paparazzi's TPing. Look at this.
No.
Support doing everything, but it's not going to be enough. The fissure still comes through, and it's going to be a 2 for dead. It looked like it could have been a great play with Synergy, but unfortunately both heroes still go down.
Did you see where PA TP'd? His TP was 4 seconds long, not 3. He TP'd to like the shrine on the other side of the map to farm or something. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that said 4 seconds.
Damn.
Oh, I wish I could go back and see it. But yeah, that almost worked out. Nice team play there. Unfortunately, they both go down. But they did buy a lot of space. Magnus actually has the CS leader in this game. He's almost top of the network charts this game. Rushing the hand of Midas.
Yep. He's got Midas, he's got his arcanes, he's got his talents, so he can farm quick as can be, and that blink is not too far off, and well, a good blink RP can always turn things around. That's one thing IGV has been teaching us since the start of the series.
Yep, this Magnus progression is definitely much better than last game. He did go for the hand of Midas, you know, it's like, it's very greedy, you know, he doesn't really want to fight too much. But in the end, when you can get it this fast, it does pay off a lot of the time.
And dogfights, he's got to be tempted here. Shadow getting pretty low after taking these Ancients. There is a Sunder available, so he's got to be really careful to keep TV trapped in that smoke cloud. We'll see if Shadow's going to misplay here, or if he's going to stay safe. Well, dogfight snapping up the rune clearly gives away his position, and he's just going to back off with his team, so we should start to see some good, you know, 5-on-5 team fights pretty shortly rather than just stragglers getting picked off. Paparazzi going to be picking up his Desolator relatively soon, but still a long ways to go. This PA was forced into a Vanguard, so not quite as far along on aggressive items as you want. Courier.
Yep, luckily he's got the Empower to kind of catch up dogfights. Sneaky.
Oh! That Crystal Maiden lived with like just the smallest amount of health, makes it back under tower, so why counting his lucky stars there as the rest of the Radiant, they're grouping up. Lina picks up the Bloodstone now, so would love to just add a couple of charges onto that, and they're going to smoke up as 4, leaving Lina to her own devices in the top lane.
Yep, nice timing on the Bloodstone there. You know, we definitely... Team Random were much slower this game we saw last game. They grouped up from tower to tower. They pretty much took everything for free, but now IGV have some massive team fight. They're actually smoked up now with the Magnus Blink Dagger.
Here we go, dogfight's leading the charge. Everyone's going to be coming in. It's a 2-hero RP, dropping the golems on top of it. No such thing as overkill here, as they might finally find the kill on Faith Beyond right after the Guardian Angel comes out. Oh, they make Omni Knight burn all he's got, and he still drops, so really nice rotation from IGV. and they're going to try to turn this right into a Roche. We'll see if Team Random has what it takes to get in here and contest it.
Yup, Earthshaker's respawning in 5 seconds. Buyback from the Omni Knight. Alright, they do not want to give this Roshan.
Yeah, he's not messing around. Omni Knight doesn't have that GA, but he's still feisty enough to get this done, so... Looks like Radiant will be scared off from the Roche pit temporarily, but he's still got a couple tricks up their sleeves, clearly.
Alright, Team Random are thinking, hey, they just used RP, Rock, we still have meta, it's time to push. And here it comes, it looks pretty unstoppable.
We'll see. I mean, Paparazzi now halfway towards that Desolator. We got Magnus, you know, he's still got the potential to blink in, grab, isolate one with a skewer. Even if there's no RP to follow up, the potential for damage drop with Lina's ultimate is pretty big, but yeah, that tier 1 tower just wasn't valuable enough for IG to take that risk. So now, Random heading into the Roche pit themselves. How quickly can they take this? Because it's got to be
Very
on the
fast.
forefront of IGV's mind.
IGV don't have ultimates up with, I still think they need to contest this.
Yeah, in July, just tossing out the shockwave. There we go, into the pit, skewering all of them out! Light Strike Array is going to be off the mark, but they still got Shadow silenced. He finally gets off the Sunder now, is going to be healed by the Warlock, and oh, they're going forward. Light Strike Array clips, but it's not enough here. You got Crystal Maiden dancing. 2 heroes dead on IGV in July. Not going to give this one up so quickly. Shadow, they know he doesn't have Sunder. They know the heals are few and far between, but it seems like IGV are just outnumbered here, and they will finally secure their Roshan. Aegis picked up on the Terror Blade. Man, in July tried so hard for that.
Yeah, such a big play, screwing them all out of the pit like that. I feel like with just a little bit more coordination, they could have completely wiped Team Random there. They missed the Lina stun off of the skewer into the smokescreen combo, and that definitely would have sealed their fate completely and just given them the Roche. There was also Lina ulted the Omni Knight with no ultimate there. He didn't have the GA available. Instead of ulting the Terrorblade, who's equally as low, Terrorblade got a Sunder off. I feel like if they kill Terrorblade, then all of their damage is gone, and they can still perhaps win that team fight, but, you know, it doesn't work out. But, I mean, now IGV, it's not that bad for them. They have RP up, they have Warlock ultimate up, they can still take fights for now, especially with meta being down for 20 seconds. They're not weak at all when they have their ultimates up. They're actually smoked up and heading down to the bottom lane right now.
Yep, I mean, they isolate the Omni here. Cicada gonna get clipped by the Fissure, but maybe just drawing out the Dire even a little bit more. Dogfight's gonna make his way forward. There will be a solo RP onto this Omni. They keep him silenced up, and they get him stun locked, so nice kill. I mean, this Omni is pretty high value. It's going to be almost 300 gold going straight to our Warlock, who's, what's he working on? He's got 1,000 gold. What are his dreams? Is he thinking about a blink? Is he trying to go for a force?
I think he'll just buy something to help him survive. He might go for the Ghost Scepter, maybe a Force Staff. We'll see. Perhaps he'll hope to invest and get a Hand of Midas so he can get some real items one day.
Alright, Shadow trying his best to defend this. PA's starting to get pretty big. Definitely had a very tricky laning phase, but getting close to that Desolator. Gonna be starting to really slam home those crits. Our core bench. Shadow Blade for her, so prioritizing some sneak attack, just going, using that swap to isolate IGV as they're really playing as a unit. You can see IGV, when they move in for those smoke ganks and those defenses, they are just all one behind the other, really close-knit.
Yep, that Silver Edge will definitely help against the Phantom Assassin. Breaks the passive so she can't evade the right clicks. And yeah, that's the RP. They have 45 seconds without RP, and Team Random want to abuse this. They're grouping up in the bottom lane to get their push on. And it looks like IGV have... Do they want to fight this? I mean, they're kind of grouped up, but they don't really have a smoke. They're just walking to the opposite side of the map. They don't want to fight at all. They know they have no chance, but as I say that, Lina TP's in to kind of stall.
It's a scouting TP. Cicada gotta play safe. Again, Bloodstone dropped to 8 charges, now with 9. So Lina's gonna work hard to earn those back as Shadow, again, still oodles of time on that Metamorphosis. This tower is just donezo. Backdoor protection comes back up. They need another wave of creeps to get in there, and well, there it goes.
Yep, IGV, they're kind of wasting their time here. They're just sitting back, front row seats to the show, watching their tower get slain, kind of just not doing anything. While it dies, they could be using this time to push out mid lane, You know, Lina can run there instead of TPing to the bottom lane, create some space, get some farm in this downtime. But they just have 4 heroes sitting around. I guess they're desperately looking to take a team fight for when this meta runs out. They see the Terrorblade right now running away, and they're smoked up looking for him.
Yeah, this chase is going to be pretty difficult as Random just read this right, they back out right away, and now they're on their own side of the map. This is going to be some dangerous turf in July. He's ready with that Blink RP, but they got to pick a really neat target. I don't know if Crystal Maiden's worthy of all the pain, but she's about to receive it, and she is evaporated. Now 3 heroes scouted out here. This could be a juicy pick if they can actually isolate him. There we go. It's going to be a solo RP, but they are able to isolate the Venge. She's got herself a swamp, but still 5 seconds until that Shadow Blade. They come in, they drop the rocks. There will be Faith Beyond getting in there with the Guardian Angel saving Blink. What a great job there by the Omni Knight. And now Shadow is just going to be cleaning up the mess, going in, taking out that Golem, an extra 100 gold for himself as the rest of IGV just run for the hills.
Yep, nice aggression from IGV again, but this may also be the go button for Team Random. You know, RP was used, Warlock Ultimate was used, 25 seconds for meta, and they're just running down lanes now.
Cicada.
I feel like they're not getting enough out of these plays to justify using their ultimates like that.
Yeah, Team Random really, I mean, as soon as there's any window, they're able to push so quickly. Terrorblade is just one of the best pushers in the game. Combo that up with an Omni that can just keep spam healing everyone, and it's really tough. Now Earthshaker coming online as well. He's got his Blink, so he can go for those Blink Echoes, and there's just so much zoning on Team Random. You've got Terrorblade just annihilating structures and his bodyguards.
Yep, they can't touch him through his bodyguards.
Invisibility.
Up top, we got Paparazzi finally with the Desolator and working towards that BKB, but this Phantom Assassin just doesn't feel like the huge core we need her to be. We need her to be raking in kills, but she's only found 1 to her 5 deaths.
Yeah, it definitely feels like she needs like the BKB and then maybe another item on top of that to really start being scary in these team fights, but at least Lina is extremely farmed. Lina, definitely a hero that can take over the game.
Picking up another Bloodstone charge for herself too, so gonna be helping out. Gets the damage instead of the respawn time, just thinking that the Bloodstone is enough, and since the patch change, that's been really common now. Crystal Maiden just gonna be, you know, under vision here. Not as scary as you think she is, but Cicada can't find the Light Strike Array, can't get that stun, and Crystal Maiden just TPs right on out. Able to D-ward though, so some more quick gold going towards Lina.
Yep, nice nice catch there on the D-ward. And now it looks just like it's the Roshan game. You know, there's no Aegis on this Terrorblade. They desperately don't want to fight into RP and Warlock Ultimate like that as they were in the past. And they just want to slow the game down for now. They're kind of huddled up. They have smokes on them ready to use. One comes out. This is the Shaker Echo. Or sorry, the Shaker Blink Dagger debut.
He's had it for a little bit. I'm fairly sure he's been seen with it, but it might just not be on the forefront of everyone's mind. So let's see if he's able to actually go in and get some use out of it. As they're crawling their way away, hugging that ancient pit. Looks like they're going to be pinging out this top lane. Trying to focus down Cicada, but this speedy Lina is already back to safety, and it seems like this smoke is going to be fruitless.
Yep, if anything, it gets them some positioning, IGV back up into their base, and they're actually surrounding this Lina.
Okay,
Oh, no.
Lina just playing way cocky there. Even with no vision on the map of any of the Dire heroes, just going out trying to push the wave, but away from the safety of her tower. She's an easy pick.
Yep, gem pickup from the Omni Knight now, securing map control. And that nice kill on Lina there.
Tower has fallen.
Lina is up in 15 seconds thanks to that Bloodstone, and this is without the respawn talent, as you mentioned earlier, so yep, she's still back.
Yeah, but that Bloodstone ticking low, only 6 charges left on that. Omni Knight now picks up a Blink Dagger of his own, so he can just get on top of you and keep you in the D-gen and just keep walking behind you and hammering you down. It's so obnoxious to play against a fed Omni.
Yep, and this is one that is definitely going to scale into the big items. He's got his Hand of Midas, gold talent and everything. He'll definitely be able to keep up there in the network. And yeah, this is, I feel like IGV, you know, they have like these big team fight ultimates and everything. They can actually take these fights if they're grouped up, but they just, you know, they need to gain they need more items, you know? So they're out on the map trying to farm, trying to get what they need to actually secure the game, and they're getting picked off. You know, it's going to happen eventually, just because it's, you know, you have to take risks eventually to gain items, but this PA has a long way to go until her next real item. She's going to pick up the BKB pretty soon, only a couple hundred gold away, but I still feel like she needs more to deal with Terrorblade. He has like 43 armor once he gets solar crested. Pretty tough.
Yeah, I mean, what's the key for IGV? Is it just hoping that Team Random are huddled up and you can get those amazing blink and skewer back into the RP and follow up with a chaotic offering? Like, do they need that wombo combo? Or can they just sit back and farm and not give anything away and it'll even out over time?
Well, they can farm, but they still need to make moves or else they're just going to give away Roshan for free. They're hoping that PA gets so farmed that she can kind of just jump in, pop BKB, and then Team Random have to, you know, address the threat, and they'll all start to hit her, and that sets up the easy RP or the Warlock ultimate. But yeah, unless they do something, Roshan's going to be free for Team Random, and as I said, they're ready to fight this. They're heading towards the area.
Yep, and they're looking for something big. Dogfight's starting things off, but he's going to have to immediately hop into his ult. Shadow briefly gets bashed there, but man, this Ricky's so scared, just hops back to his teammates, and they're just trying to clear out illusions. There will be a double man RP. This time they get the wombo combo they're looking for. Guardian Angel popped out as Earthshaker's the only one to fall. Looks like Magnus will get beaten up. They will find another though. Vengeful Spirit dead in the pit. Paparazzi's BKB runs out now. Has to play this one safe. Faith Beyond trapped in. Is going to be able to go purify himself, and oh, now Crystal Maiden is ulting, just going to be a zoning ult as they're trying to finish off the Roshan. Dagger comes in, they lose the Omni. The gem is just a free pick to Paparazzi. Now, meanwhile, Shadow going to be taking out Roshan. Now has an Aegis to his name, just needs one more hit onto Paparazzi. The urn is going to be enough, so the gem falls back in. Shaker, yeah, he's back in here, and they are going to go find a kill onto that Lina. My god, what is this mess? Is super. The last hope for the Radiant, just holding on to that gem, trying to waddle to freedom. He's gonna make it, man. No. Killed off there, body blocked in by Shadow's illusion, and the gem back to its rightful side of the map there. The Dire take it back. What a crazy fight. That buyback from Ice Ice secured the full wipe.
Yeah. I mean, we had some great plays from both teams there. Sakata kind of manned up. He ran in, you know, hoping that there was no vision. He found two heroes, and that gave In July the opportunity to land that nice RP on those two heroes. Then, you know, they pretty much killed both of them instantly. It was the Venge, and I'm not sure who the other one was, but whoever it was died right away. Didn't even matter. And that started a good fight for them. But it's, I don't know, even with that great of a start, you know, the fight still was won by Team Random there. Terrorblade just proving to be quite the problem right now. Sitting at top of the net worth, he's got Aegis now as well.
Yeah, he's a spooky boy. Now has that Iascati gonna make just right-clicking even tougher, so yeah, another 2,500 gold soon to be on the way. What does he go for next here? Does he want to go, you know, just raw damage? Does he want to pick up something defensive? Does he want to get a little bit feisty there? What's he going for?
He might pick up the BKB just so he can attack through the Ricky Cloud. Oh, down bottom.
Yeah, they're jumping in. They're ready to go, but they know there's no follow-up. There's going to be an Echo Slam as everyone's nice and cuddled into one corner. Paparazzi's BKB, but yeah, gonna get very, very low. Jumping back in, still alive as they are able to take out two. The Omni and the Vengeful Spirit hit the deck. And now Terrorblade poking his head into the scene. Does he really want to go on this? Dogfight still up and still healthy. Starting to burn through those diffusal charges.
Man, alright, so they almost get the PA there, but In July saves him with a nice RP there. PA gets BKB off, kills Venge and Omni Knight. And this delays Team Random from pushing again. You know, this is not a game that they want to play at, you know, 90 minutes into this game. PA Magnus, this is before PA really has items, right? She's just sitting on Deso, Vanguard, you know, BKB. Once she picks up the Abyssal Blade, and then, you know, her next item after that, it's going to be extremely hard.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is you got Shadow, your Terrorblade here that definitely can hold on well into the late game, but the sooner that Team Random can actually go and touch high ground and push on these racks, the better. It seems like they've gone and they took out these tier 2s very quickly and very powerfully, but now IGV, they're still up and fighting, and there's no creep advantage for Team Random.
Yep, it's just, there's nothing you can really build to itemize against Magnus, right? If you get RP'd, Lincoln's doesn't save you, BKB doesn't save you. The only thing you can really hope for is that you're tanky enough to survive. Oh, Dogfights actually pops the smoke here. They drop the sentry. They don't know what's going on. Even PA just sneaks on by.
Yeah, they're going in. Looks like In July is going to be the target here, but PA jumping back to some friends. This is a very mobile fight, as this squadron of Team Random heroes are just jumping every which way. Now again, Ice does have that gem, so Dogfights isn't totally in the free here, but yeah, Team Random make a big rotation and find nothing out of it.
Yeah, nice smoke gank averted there. But, you know, Team Random, they're still poisoned up towards the mid lane here, get ready to get their push on. But I don't think they can walk up to the hill. Like, they're going to have to push into Fatal Bonds, Lina spamming, Magnus spamming.
It's going to get real annoying real fast. Shadow pops into that metamorphosis, brings his friends, and this is where the push is going to be going down. In July now has that RP ready.
Oh,
There's a swap
nice
back in. They
swap.
isolate Super, so there's going to be no Warlock ult for this fight. He can't buy back. He's dead for a minute. Blink gets kind of low, but will be saved. In July finds an RP on 2, skewers back the Omni, but Ice is right there by his buddy's side, and they are able to turn that around. They lose the Omni, but they take out the Lina, who's going to buy right back into this fight. Cicada now reinitiating onto Shadow. The Lightbreaker Ray clips, and they will burn the Aegis with the Laguna Blade. Frostbite holding back our PA, and now Crystal Maiden just going to be ulting like it's free, and now Dogfights goes in, tries to finish off Ice, but just can't. Gonna be dead, has the option to buy back, but at this point it's not quite worth it. Team Random, they're content with what they got. They forced a buyback, they got some good kills, forced some ults, and they're just gonna buy back, or back off, only losing the Omni.
Yep, Cicada TPing in aggressively actually with the Shadow Blade, looking for more.
Yeah. Pretty easy kill there on the Crystal Maiden, just getting the most out of those fiery soul stacks. Oh my! Why? Gets healed up by the urn, one hit from death, but still up and kicking.
Yep, that was such a nice play there. Venge swapped in the Warlock before he could really do anything at all. And they kill him off immediately. I was going to say, like, unless they have a good way to start the fight, like they need to actually get in there and, you know, kill someone important like the Warlock. That I don't think they can just walk up, but they did that. And you know, they took the tier 3 tower pretty much for free there. I mean, there was a bit of a skirmish here and there. Lina bought back, Aegis was lost, but in the end, very worth it for Team Random.
Yeah, that follow-up Echo Slam by Earthshaker was pretty big. Made sure that IGV did not feel comfortable even standing behind their own racks.
Terrorblade finishes up the Butterfly. PA has the MKB and about 500 gold, so that's not going to be that effective, but it does give him a nice bit of damage. I don't know. I feel like he needs something to help him fight the PA. Like he's relying too much on the Silver Edge from Vengeful Spirit to really deal with the evasion for now, which might be okay, but later on he's going to need that MKB for sure.
Group up here as it looks like Team Random are either going to rotate pretty tightly or wait for a smoke. There they go. They're just going to be charging down. They're pinging out this mid lane. They just want to keep their, battle cry up. So
yep, if they catch Paparazzi, who is just walking up the lane, this could be very, very bad for IG Vitality.
And Paparazzi throws out the dagger, will get clipped by the Fissure, swap back. BKB comes through and will be able to blink back to a teammate. Now Shadow leading the charge for his team. They can't quite catch up to any of the Radiant heroes except for, unfortunately, Dogfights, who just gets pummeled into the ground. And now there's some serious pressure coming into this tier 3. They're going to focus bottom as they already have that racks cleared off. And yep, there's another metamorphosis. Cicada. He's got the weight of the world in his hands. They do have this Warlock ults, but he's going to get clipped here. Can they follow up on that? So Warlock's going to be patient on this one, just going in. These racks dropping low, and there is now a full lane of super creeps in the bottom.
Yep, TB meted with Repel, 50 armor thanks to the Solar Crest. They can't touch him right now.
It's feeling really difficult for IGV to fight this. I mean, they know they have a decent initiation when they all go in and toss their spells together, but that leaves such a vulnerable window if they can't actually find a 5-man wipe off of that. If Team Random get the information that, there's no Laguna Blade, there's no RP, there's no Chaotic Offering, that's just GG. Random can really push their advantage there.
We've got a pretty long Roshan respawn, I think.
Not yet. We don't know if it's going to be long or short.
Oh,
the
okay.
blinking red light means you're not sure. Once it touches that side
there.
point, then you find out.
Okay, let's see if I'm right anyways.
Also, there'll be a digital pop-up, 207.
Oh, alright, it's a pretty fast one, right? What is that, a minute?
It's on the longer side. The longest it can go is the far north
Oh,
there.
okay, I'm pretty stupid.
We're
I see
teaching
now.
Brax how to read the Roche timer.
Oh, this is tough.
How many hours do you have in Dota?
Too many.
It's all good.
More than that clock can count.
Very fair. All right, so looking at overall net worth, things really starting to slide into Random's favor, almost a 15,000 advantage, and they're really going to have to go and allocate, at least IGV are going to have to allocate resources to keeping this bottom lane cleared out, because having a lane pushing in, breaking backdoor protection, that is a surefire way to lose your racks by Terrorblade ratting.
Yup. Well, IGV, they've kind of fallen into a new set of items here. PA has the MKB, Magnus actually has Refresher. So they've got some very powerful fighting tools here if they can find the fight they want.
Scan comes in, Radiant making sure no dire heroes are hanging out on this cliff. And 1 more minute till Roshan respawns, but here's the fight. There are going to be golems. Drop Cicada still alive, just barely. Blink chasing after him, but too far isolated from his team. Now Magnus picked off here in July, trying to skewer to freedom, but his body doesn't even make it there. They're going in. They will find Blink here, but it's going to be BKB'd up. Can the Venge live through this? Going to be earned up, but Earn taken off. Swapping to freedom. Faith Beyond taking one for the team. Going to be able to go and repel himself as now, oh no, the PA is isolated. This is huge. That's going to be a godlike streak from our Terrorblade. There's no buyback on the Magnus, no buyback on the PA. The Chaotic Offering is down, and it's time for Team Random to blast this game wide open. This is their shot to go in and end. They've got a minute of freedom before that PA's back in.
I don't see any way IG can hold here. No buyback on Magnus, no buyback on PA. Magnus up to 35. Maybe they can fight at the top tier 3 if Team Random kind of fall out of their seats here and don't kill the Rex.
They're going for Megas here, and it looks like they should be able to find it. Lightstrike Array not going to be doing anything, as Shadow is just going to be buffed up by his teammates, repelled by that Omni, and yeah, it's looking real tricky. They go, they clip the Lina, the GG is called as Team Random, aka the former Wings, the TI champs, get in there, get the job done. It takes them 3 games, but they will emerge victorious in their first series of the Kiev Major.
Yep, nice game from both teams. Terrorblade mid did pretty well early on, transitioning into the jungle. Nice laning from Team Random. You know, they made their strategy work. They picked heroes they thought were good for the game, and they found a way to kind of lane everything to make it fit together. And in the end, it works out for them.
All right, so that's going to do it for this series. Again, congratulations to Team Random, aka Wings. I see there's a little confusion on that. These guys are the same squad, they just dropped organizations. So Team Random, good luck to you in the next round of the bracket. But Brax, we are not done. We've got another series of the Kiev Major to cast tonight, and that is going to be Newbee versus DC, the DC that is the former Onyx DC. And that's going to be coming up in just a couple of minutes here, so sit tight. You're not going to want to miss that. Some good old NA versus China action. I know, Brax, you've got some stakes in that, so hope you guys are enjoying the casting. Again, I'm Android, being joined by Brax. Feel free to give us some love on Twitter if you enjoyed the cast. And, well, sit back, relax. Stream number 3 coming back at you with